Welcome back mtazamaji katika segment yetu ya pili ambayo tunafanya kitu ambayo inaitwa discussion of today's topic. Tunaendelea na topic ambayo tulikuwa tumeguzia jana, that is suicide ideation. Na tumeikiwa pale vya nyumbani, we are watching us through Facebook. Karibu sana, Mamlaka TV ni Facebook page yangu. Grace Njeri is also my other Facebook page. Na Karaoke is also the Facebook page. Na Facebook page ambazo zote tuko live. Karibuni sana kwenye kipindi yetu ya siku ya leo. We are also live on Mamlaka TV, Pang 146. Karibuni sana na tuendelee kunongonezana kupitia namba ile kwenye screen yako 0700899899 ama 0721899899. Niko na guest wetu wa siku ya leo ambaye nimemleta tena akaweza kutuzungumzia. He's a life coach, he's a counselor, yani he's a jack of all trades. Acha tuseme tu hivyo. I'll be taking you to him, akaweza kutusalimia, tukaweza kusikia sauti yake. Kwa wale ambao umesahau, tukaweza kusikia kutoka kwake, akatusalimia. Now we can get into the topic of today. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Uko salama?
Niko salama kabisa. Number one, mimi si Jack. Mimi si Jack. Huyo Jack mwenye anaambiwa baba yake ni all trades. Mimi sio Jack. Mimi naitwa Mr. Talent. I'm a life coach, I'm a psychologist. Na speciality yangu iko kwa mental health, stories of drugs, na hizo vitu. So I deal with people ambao wako na thoughts za kujiua. That is what suicide ideation is. Yes.
Karibu sana kwenye kipindi chetu ya siku ya leo.
Asante.
Naona leo you looking good, you looking awesome. Ni vile tu makeup artist kumpata leo.
Najua jana kulikuwa na Monday Bruce, lakini kumbe ilikuwa black juu it was a cold day. Yeah, but I'm good. Doing fine. Yes.
Umetuambia unaitwa Mr. Talent. Hiyo ndio jina yako ya usanii ama ni usanaa? What is your real name?
Mimi hata si msanii. Mi hujenga abilities. Like I have that gift of helping an individual kujielewa. Na hata wakati na deal na watu ambao wako kwa madawa za kulevya, watu ambao wako na suicidal ideation, one of the things that I remind them is that it is possible to go back to your ability, we develop na ikupe options. So majina yangu kamili ni Peter Shege. Petero. Wa karaoke. Petero. Lakini si yule wa Bible.
Karibu sana, and we have a discussion ambayo tuko nayo hapa siku ya leo. Given the fact that kuna watu ambao wengi sana wako na suicide thoughts, na nimeona kulikuwa na story ambayo imeguziwa pale kwa gazeti yetu about the DJ mwenye bibi yake aliweza kujiua. Sije tuguzie, tuanzie hapo kwanza. Huyo DJ ambaye alirecord bibi yake akiwa anakunywa poison na bibi akakufa mbele yake na mbele ya watoto. Let us begin from there. Mama alianza na hizi suicide thoughts. Is it suicide thoughts ama ni yeye kujitakia kujiua from your view?
Unajua Grace, sitataka kujibu hilo swali hivyo vile unaniuliza. Kwa nini sitaki kujibu? You see, there are triggers. Kuna triggers ama kuna vitu, kuna conditions ambazo facilitate suicidal thoughts. So before suicidal thought comes out, kuna vitu mingi sana ambazo zimefanyika. Labda mtu anapitia broken relationship, kwa condition ambayo you are not satisfied with what is happening, or the environment is toxic. So having all these things, ama uko na chronic illness yenye unaona sitapona, ama umejaribu kufanya project ukaona haiwezi work. Like I have seen people ambao wako na first class honors, the top cream in the country, mtu akijiua kwa sababu amekosa job. So there are some other things. Lakini suicidal thoughts utasikia mtu akiongea. Ama in the days of status, WhatsApp status, TikTok status, Facebook stories and all that, utaona mtu ameandika kitu, afadhali niende. So majority of us tutamwambia enda, wewe si mtu wa kwanza.
Kenya tunakuwa na answers all over.
Tuko na answers. But now mtu ukisikia ameongea kitu kama hicho, what they are asking for attention. Wanauliza, je, kuna mtu anaweza nisikiza? In fact, the only cure that is known for suicide ni kusikizwa. Kusikizwa. So when somebody writes, anasema anataka attention. Back now to the DJ. I would say it was irresponsible That is a social irresponsibility. Whereby una record mtu akifa. Badala ya kumrescue. Because there are few ways. Like number one, nimesema niko na dawa because there is also a habit ya kuweka dawa. Mtu mnakaa na yeye ameweza kupile dawa. Ameweza kuweka dawa mingi na hakunywa ni dawa. So you should know ya kwamba anatafuta opportunity yenye ita burst out ndio achukue zile dawa ameze. Au mtu ameanza kukua withdrawn. So when that thing happens, like if your friend is doing that, or your brother, your sister, ama hata mzazi wako, sababu age ya kujiua si eti ya kwamba ni ati teenagers peke yao ndio wanaweza jiua, ama youth, wazazi pia wanaweza jiua. So mtu ambaye mnaishi na yeye, kama uko close, uko na connection, because watu ambao wako na suicidal ideation, kitu yenye wamekosa ni kitu inaitwa connection. They are looking for connection.
When you talk about connection, which kind of connection are you talking about?
Connection, yeah, like I'm in a family. I'm supposed to be a son. Am I a connected son in that family? Like, can I speak to my dad and nisikize? Can I speak to my mama and nisikize? Can I speak to my brothers and sisters wanisikize? Okay, I'm working in a media house because also guys in the media huwa pia wanajifanyia hiyo kitu. So can I speak to my colleagues at workplace wanisikize? Do I have colleagues at workplace ambao we are so connected ya kwamba nikikwambia this is what I'm feeling, you're able to come to my rescue? Unaona? Or niko na mental illness, niko na depression, I'm feeling so bad about myself, and I have sunk into depression. So when I'm at my raw moment, kwa sababu suicide strikes when you're so raw. Una kale kalingi ka lowest point ya maisha yako, the weakest link, hiyo ndio hugongwa. Tuseme you have a boyfriend, I'm not sure. Kusema sasa natumia example yako.
Okay.
Tuseme you have a boyfriend. And you've been thinking like, I want to do away with my life. So suicide, it will hit most wakati labda boyfriend haja kuongelesha since jana, na labda ni simu ilizimika. Unaona? But now this is the weakest link. So suicide looks at an opportunity for weakest link. Na hii weakest link during your raw moments, that's when you'll be striked and you do things without thinking, because at your weakest point, you are a victim, and you only focus on problems, not on solutions.
Your time hata ufikiriagi there's even a solution in your life.
You don't think about it. And so suicide hits you at that moment, and that is why right now tumeanzisha kitu inaitwa mental health first aiders. I'm a suicide first aiders. I'm doing a workshop very soon on that. How ni watu wenye when somebody cries that wanataka kujiua, can you come to their rescue? Unaona?
True.
You can see a very good brother in church. Ameenda amejinyonga. A very good brother who was hope to so many people. Ameenda amejinyonga. Ni kwa sababu at times suicide, and that is why I'm using the word connection. Suicide si kitu utaona. I can speak about that. Mufikiria ni jokes. But somebody who is connected to me, kitu atafanya ni atakuja kwangu aniulize kwa nini umeongea hivyo. Like this is what happens with me. Nikiona mtu yote mwenye tunajuana and we have a connection. Connection is kwa tunafanya kitu pamoja, we in the same group, or we hang out together and all that. I don't make these moments, I don't take them for granted. So if we hang out, like hata wewe ukiandika kitu very funny kwa hata Facebook wall, I'll call you and say, Grace, what is happening? I have realized that many people, majority of the people have asked like that, kuna vitu zinawasumbua. And so we have now moved from this statement ambayo ameweka kwa social media, tukaenda deep in them, and then we started discussing the issue. Utapata jamaa kwake, it is a problem, it is a mess.
Jamaa pia wanakuwa na suicidal ideas. In
fact you realize that guys kwa suicide, numbers zao ziko juu ya women. You see, women talk.
Yeah, not all. Tutakuwa tunaangalia hiyo side bado.
Ngoja kwanza. Hata kama not all women talk.
Yes, let's say women talk.
Na kwa nini nasema wanaongeaga? Kama ukikosea lazima uongee na msichana fulani. Kai, imagine vile karibu ni mention jina. Imagine vile ex amenifanyia Kai. Sasa katika hiyo guy na yeye anasema oh yeah anafanyia hivyo. Sasa hiyo inapunguza makali. Inapunguza makali. So if you had an idea ya kujiua inakuwa reduced. What you're supposed to number one do, and that is the work of a first aider in this circumstance, it is to reduce makali ya suicide. Because at the moment mtu anachukua mpaka Piritons, anachukua kama Piriton 100 anaziweka kwa maziwa ama hata nini inaitwa nini Panado kama 50 anaziweka kwa maziwa anakuja. Na unajua hiyo ni sumu. So death inakuja instant. Unayo kitu ama anachukua kamba and all that. So sex ideation, there are a few things that somebody needs to understand. So men, jamaa ameremewa, kazi hakuna. Wife amemwambia wewe hauna akili. So at home where they supposed to be the selling environment ya kufanya mtu hata kama shida ziko huko nje, unakuja huku you have an environment that makes you heal. Bado ni hell. So you have a hell outside here, and a hell in the family, then a hell in you. So that trinity brings you down.
Wow. Mtazamaji, you have heard it from Mr. Talent. If you're watching us, tafadhali changia topic yetu ya siku ya leo through Facebook, Mamlaka TV, Grace Njeri na Kariuki Ng'ang'a, na pia all other social media platforms, na pia namba yetu kwenye screen ni 0700899899 ama 0721899899. Mr. Talent.
Yes.
Have you had instances whereby umedeal na mtu ambaye ameshindwa completely to open out?
Yeah, wako wengi because what also happens ukiona mtu anafika stage ya suicide, what happens is that ameongea na watu wamemfrustrate. And I'll say this, if you are in a family, you are at workplace, uko shuleni, kila mahali ambapo kwenye uko, when somebody speaks to you, things in confidentiality, akitaka zikuwe secret, keep them as secrets.
Usiende kuzitoa nje.
Yes. What happens in Rome, let it remain in Rome.
Yeah.
So mtu akikuja akwambie this is what I'm going through, haja kuambia uende ukaseme. You are not a news reporter or a news anchor. Nikusema tu nasema. And one of the things that has made people to cross up ni kwa sababu they have always been disappointed. Watu wamekuwa so disappointed to a level that akisema anasemwa.
Yeah.
So we have mistrust. So these guys rock up. So I have dealt with them. But one of the things yenye imekuwa ngumu sana, it is to create a rapport, to create a relationship. So number one, for such people, you must first of all create a connection. Lazima umulete close. And lazima aende beyond reasonable doubt. Ajue ya kwamba my information is safe. And can I also tell you something?
Yeah.
It is, Grace, it is so easy for someone who has gone through disappointments kuja kwako na akupe story ya uongo. First of all, ukupima.
Kama unaweza iweka.
Sasa wewe unaenda kuropokwa na ulipewa story ya uongo. So hata imuaffect, hii haijamuaffect, hata haja feel vibaya. But at the end of the day, you are losing that person.
Very true.
And majority of people who have died is because they came to us. They wanted our attention. They wanted our time. Remember the Bible verse inasema, come, let us reason together. Even though your sins are as red as scarlet. Wenye unafanya Bible study. Scarlet, lakini imetoka mbali. Even though your sins are as red as scarlet.
We'll make it as white.
Yeah. So now, listening together is what they are looking for. So they are looking for connection. If God has always, since creation, has always been looking for a connection. What about us, human beings? We should be connected. Jerry, I'm supposed to see you and connect with you, connect with your issues. And when I connect with your issues, those are not news. You have to see testimony watu wa church. Because I see people, oh, I deal with drug addict, I deal with suicide case nini, mtu alinyonga na mtu wako pale na hakukuambia uende ukatoe testimony. Testimony jieke, ma feelings weka huko kwa mlango. Don't just give out information that is not supposed to go out there.
Now, when it comes to hiyo story umeniambia, tukikuja kwa the mental awareness, these doctors or psychology, what mistakes are they making in terms of handling these people ambao kuna suicidal thoughts?
One mistake is using cases without consent ya clients. Kutumia hizo cases kama platform ya kujimarket. You know, they think when I speak about a suicide case I handled, I'll show my prowess.
It's a selling point for them.
So that is a mistake. And I think we are losing grip. We are losing grip. And we are losing grip kwa sababu nitakuja church. But because I want more clients in the church, I'll speak about that. That is not how it's supposed to be. I'm only supposed to speak about any case without mentioning names. Kama niko na consent. Huyo mtu amepona kiasi ya kwamba angetaka story yake itumike. Like last week I did a workshop on pornography addictions. Somebody called me akaniambia mimi nimeheal. Nataka kuwa pia kwa YouTube channel yako. Niongee stories za how to fight with pornography from a reality point of view. Yeye mwenyewe ndiye alisema. Unaona, ameheal. You can only use a case of a client mwenye ameheal completely. So those are some of the mistakes that they are doing. And then number two, they're also making mistakes whereby they don't really make it a journey with a client. Because if the client is not transformed, the transaction that happens, zile doze yenye unapata, you're not worth to get money. And I have one single rule. Even when I do my training programs, when I do my counseling programs, I have one rule. My rule is transformation first. Transaction will come later, and it is automatic. And when you go with that rule, I have realized that a case you could have charged so little, you earn more. Yes, because you are given honorarium for transformation.
You're being paid for what you have.
See, you are being paid. You are being given honorarium. Unajua wewe hujui hiyo kitu nini? Unapewa package inaitwa honorarium. Honorarium is an honors honoris award. Yes.
Honorium.
Wewe usijaribu kusema vitu ngumu kwako. Grace ni.
Okay, that is in terms of the mental people.
Yes.
But now tumekuwa tukiona hiki kitu imefika to a stage whereby mtu anakuwa na mental disability. Tukipeleka mtu pale kwa mentals ama psychiatric hospital, how are those doctors treating these young people?
Okay, I would say this. There's some levels, and I don't want to talk on their behalf. But I have seen some cases that I think personally, from where I sit, I think they were not supposed to be psychiatric. Because you see, psychiatric is more of medical oriented, so it's about medicine and all that. So I've seen some cases that were not supposed to be psychiatric being treated in a psychiatric way, and I have also seen some cases that are supposed to be psychiatric being treated in a psychological way. So until the two roots or the two units of mental treatment comes together, then we cannot have true and real treatment when it comes to mental issues. And there is a basic thing that I also think our approach needs to change.
Yeah.
People are dealing specifically with mental illness. But what are we doing to the masses that are not mentally ill? Okay, mental illness is to some degree. Like all of us are sick. So, but the degree matters.
The degree matters.
But now, what are we doing to the masses? Because personally, I divide mental mental illness into three cases. There are people who are mentally ill. There are people who it has started. And there are people who are not. So what are we doing to the masses? How are we controlling the masses? So mental wellness is an approach that personally I'm using. So I'll come to church and do a seminar on mental wellness, on how to manage. How to manage. And when you have more managers, people who are able to manage their mental capacity, then you have reduced the number of people who are going to be mentally ill. So can we use an approach? This is the positive approach that I use. And I have used it with drug addicts. So instead of only talking about the addicts, I also look at those who joined Juicy, speak to them, or look at the masses who have not joined and create an awareness. Give them the capacity to manage.
Someone is out there anatutazama na anauliza hii swali that mimi niko na I speak to myself each and every moment. Should we group this person akona mental awareness, akona mental problems?
No, I will not.
Any tu mina kanga tu hivi ninaanza tu kujiongelesha. I make stories and even I laugh. Ninacheka.
Grace, you see, it is not the business of a coach or a counselor to come and tell you that you're sick. It should be client-centered. It should be client-centered. Now, if you don't admit that you're sick, okay, there are sicknesses that somebody will tell you, na mimi ni mgonjwa. Kama utasikia, kama saizi tunaelekea baridi, msimu wa baridi. If you go to Central Kenya, because of the fog,
Nasini niko na kahoma.
Hapana. Mimi hugoroka July. And the connection, what is the link? During July, if you go to Central Kenya, there are so many problems. There is no food because ya hiyo baridi. Majani haikatu. So these guys have got a lot of time. And so if your mind doesn't have the capacity to have self-management, then you crash. Umeshika? So mtu mwenye hujiongea, I will look at it from a point of they have an instability condition. Unstable condition. It's not purely they are mentally ill, but unstable condition that can make them sink into mental illness. That can make. Because it also depends on what I'm speaking about. It also depends on these words that I'm saying. What are these words? Yes.
Wow. Since umefanya kazi ya life coach and counseling for how long?
This is my 23rd year.
23rd year.
Yes.
In these 23rd years, have you
23.
gotten
23rd years.
In these 23 years, umepata any challenges?
Yeah, there's so many challenges. A client will come, but then the client now sees you as a person who made them get pain.
Anakuwa
So
when do the cause of the pain?
Role play. Because like to say you meet a woman who is going through mental illness, and the reason as to why they got into that, it was because a man had broke them. So they are seated before you, and they see you as any other man.
As in that person. One person, you wote mko the same box.
Yeah, to go the same box. Or you go to a place whereby you're speaking and you're taking a client through sessions. Then you realize, let me go back to the background. Because like if you're dealing with suicide, you must look at do we have a history of suicide in their family. So you go back to the history. And then when you go back to the history, this guy doesn't want to hear anything about family. Ama pia alipuke ukiwa hapo. Like you are with the client, mko nyinyi wawili, kilipuke. Akumbuke kitu ambayo imefanya. So handling that has been one of the challenges, but I'm happy that when I was growing up, I did a few other things that helps me to operate. Like I was able to do training your self-defense. I don't fight. I am born again.
Hallelujah.
I'm born again. But I did some self-defense stuff. I've also done a lot of study on criminal webs. I have studied, and I'm a keen observer. I do a lot of non-verbals. Apart from speaking, I do a lot of non-verbals. I will observe and I'll know what you want to do. Yes.
In terms of going to the young people, you have also dealt with the young people.
Yes, yes.
What are these things that are affecting these young people inafanya kwa suicidal thoughts?
Young people, there are so many people. Number one, most of the young people that we have today, they like comparing themselves with others. Like a girl who doesn't have a good shape feels, I don't have a shape. And they are competing with people with a shape. But they don't understand that the principle of the Bible is you're fear-free and wonder-free made. Being contented with what you have. Yes. Like hujapata job. Usingangane kuvaa nguo ya 2,000, 3,000. Vaa mtushi. Uchape pasi, tokea, ngara, ingia soko. Na soko ingie pande yenye inauzwa vitu mzuri, unaona? So basically what I would say is those are two things. Then relationship, because the human brain initially in an ideal situation, a human brain matures at 21 years. But right now it has gone up to 25. So we start engaging ourselves in relationships when we are young. And when you're young, your brain doesn't have capacity to handle relationships and handle what you want to develop yourself into. So basically, those are the things. And also family dysfunctionality. A lot of dysfunctional families, they cause people to get into mental illness. Like msee ameona babake akichapwa kila ukiwa from a very early age. So that has a capacity to make them sick. Or the push from parents. Like mzazi anataka usome uende national school ukuwe daktari. And then you're not a doctor, you want to be in the media. So na push kama sasa wewe ungekuwa daktari wa nani?
Na ungekuwa na wadunga shindano huko.
Hapana, daktari noisemaker. Siwe ni mtu wa media, daktari noisemaker, unaona? So kama your mama anakupush, and then you become what you are not supposed to become. So at the end of the day, you'll do it kwa sababu ni yeye analipa school fees, but your mind will never be settled. Then drugs and substance abuse, and also upcoming cults. Modern cults that are not religious affiliated. I know so many guys in the church are telling me to one of these days train on that. We have so many cults, modern cults that are not religiously connected. And so you join into a move that gives you just a hype.
I think hata mimi one time ndakutafuta tuongele about that modern cults.
Utalipa. No, I'm just joking. We basically only concentrate on religious cults, but there are so many modern cults that are making our young people sink into depression and into mental illness. So when all these things are put together, you realize that the negative impact is on emotions, on the mind, on the soul, heart, and the physical. So those impacts, they affect those 5 components.
Okay. So tunaweza kuingia ndani into deep about the young people. We'll look also for another day tukuje tuendelee na part 2 of that. But meanwhile, I would like you to advise the young people out there, or anyone who's watching you out there, mwenye kuna suicidal thoughts, using that camera on the other side.
Which one?
On the other side.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Young people who are going through suicidal thoughts, I'll tell you something. Cool a bit. Cool your life. Look at the inner possibilities. Look at how capable you are. Analyze all your gifts and all your talents. Now, if you are to die today, the world is going to lose a very precious gift. And so I'll tell you, first of all, analyze yourself. Then get an opportunity to speak out. Speak out to your brothers, to your sisters. It's not a must that you start by shouting out to everybody in the world or looking for a counselor. Maybe you might not get one. But speak out to your brother. Speak out to your friends who are your confidence. Get yourself a speaking out environment. Speaking out lessens the pangs of suicide. And then get a counselor. Get a good counselor. A good counselor who is not manipulative. I'm not saying you get me, But I'm saying look for someone who is not manipulative. Get someone who is passionate. Sit down with them. And when you speak out, it is possible to come out of suicidal ideation. Then if you're going through a problem that you have not fulfilled your dream, look at other dimensions of who you are, other dimensions of what you can do. If one job is not coming through, you can get another thing. I have seen people who have started as mutuba sellers, but when an opportunity comes, that's when you realize, kumbe mzee alikuwa na degree, napata job.
Wow, that is amazing. My viewers, ukiwa pale hivyo nyumbani, ningetaka Mr. Talent atuambie, in case mimi nataka kufanywa counseling, nataka kwenda kuingia hizi classes za life coach, nataka kuwa niko na hii shida ya suicidal thoughts, tunaweza kupata wapi?
Unaweza nipata, the easiest way to get me is Mr. Talanta Africa. Social media sites, TikTok, IG, Facebook, Mr. Talanta Africa. YouTube pia, there's some stuff about that. And also number 0739 700 411. 0739 700 411. You can either text, WhatsApp, or call. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Talent. Tutakuwa tunakutafuta for another part 2. Tuendelee na a little bit of some discussions. Unajua watazamaji wako na a lot of questions ambao wameuliza. But mimi ndio mtazamaji, tutakuwa tunamalizia kipindi yetu hapo. Na nitakuwa nikiondoka kwenye studio nikikuacha na a little bit of some advertisement. That is Nakuru College of Commerce and Hospitality. Kumbuka ya kwamba wako pale hivyo next to Ereto Plaza, Equator House, a 4th floor. Fika pale hivyo Nakuru College of Commerce and Hospitality. Nitakuwa na kuacha na advertisement ya hiyo kanda, na pia tuko na mamlaka song of the week katika studio zetu. A little bit of some nominees wako pale hivyo. Nitakuwa ninakuacha na nominees. Fika pale hivyo ticketbase.com for you mtazamaji, ufanye ile kitu ambayo inaitwa voting. Na kumbuka winner tutakuwa tunamleta hapa kwenye studio kwa ikifika siku ya Friday. Tutakuwa naye hapa hivi kwenye studio, one of the winners ya mamlaka song of the week. Na usisahau ndakuwa nakuletea ticketbase.com as CEOs and founders ambao wataweza kutupatia their journey, how it has been, and tujue hii platform ambayo tunatumia, how transparent it is. Na usisahau, if you like to advertise with us, kumbuka ya kwamba it is we do something called verification of your biasharas. To advertise kitu ambaye it's not verified, so your biashara lazima ikuwe verified for you mtazamaji, ndo upate kile ambacho ungetaka. Namba yangu ile kwenye screen ni 0700899899 ama 0721899899. Wasiliana nami wakati wowote na tungetaka kusikia kutoka kwako. Social media platforms zangu zote ziko open, wakati wowote mnaweza wasiliana nasi. Na usisahau niko na vitabu zetu kwenye studio, that is Empowered in Salvation, written by Stephen Muasia, goes only for 300 Kenyan shillings. Na pia niko na Battles from Birth, it goes only for 500 Kenyan shillings, written by Bishop Ben Nganga. Niko na kitabu kingine ya Bishop Ben, Oil of a Family Deliverer, na niko na Denied, a Celebration for you mtazamaji. Order these books for you kwa masuala ya elimu na kujielimisha. Order these books, they will be delivered in you in time. I've been your host Grace Njeri. Tukutane kesho asubuhi na mapema for another segment of another Mamlaka Breakfast. Now usisahau, this is the only channel where we give you only lots and lots of information hapa hivi. Kumbuka, if you're in Nakuru, kindly take care. Kutakuwa na caravan ya Jubilee Party. Tafadhali be careful kwenye streets, na pia take care of yourselves. Coronavirus is coming up in a new wave. We see each other tomorrow very early in the morning. Goodbye until tomorrow.
Nakuru College of Commerce and Hospitality is a state-of-the-art school offering holistic education from artisan levels to advanced diploma. We offer courses in food and beverage production, catering and accommodation, pastry and baking, culinary arts, tour guiding and operation, tourism management, tourism and business management, fashion and design from artisan level to higher diploma, sales and marketing, marketing, banking and finance, accountancy, business management, ICT, CPA courses, hairdressing and beauty therapy, cosmetology, electrical engineering and installation. We have short courses like public relations, event management, entrepreneurship, interior decorations. We also offer languages like Spanish, German, French, and Chinese. Our examining bodies are NEC, ICM, CASNEB, NITA, KISM. We also have hostels for those coming from distant places. For more information or inquiries, visit us at Equator House, first floor Kenyatta Lane, Nakuru, or call us on 0727 424698 or 0721 582532 or email at info@nakurucollege.ac.ke or visit our website at www.nakurucollege.ac.ke. Nakuru College of Commerce and Hospitality, defining a culture of professional excellence.